The incentive to business is profit. Right? This is the principal incentive to business. It's the principal reason that people go into business. It's the principal reason that businesses continue. It's arguably the only reason that businesses can continue doing business is either breaking even or showing a profit. If a business consistently loses money and goes out of business, it's just that simple. And profit does not respect people. Profit does not respect the environment. Profit does not respect morality. Profit does not respect humanity, fundamental humanity. Profit is simply an entry on a bookkeeping sheet. And so when you have companies that are willing to put profits over people, which is the norm in the United States and around the world, frankly, then you have to have some power that can balance that. That's the idea of regulated capitalism, is that you have capitalism, you have the profit motive, but you have regulation that prevents those people from engaging in the behaviors to generate profits that are destructive to society. So yes, you can sell drugs. No, you can't sell drugs that kill people. Yes, you can sell drugs. No, you can't charge absurd prices. So this is where we're failing in our regulatory system. And all the rest of the world has one that works. We pay the highest drug prices in the world, more than twice what any other country in the world is paying for pharmaceuticals, any other developed country. Why? Because we don't regulate the price of drugs. So, you know, this is the argument for regulated capitalism. But when the government itself goes insane, then the ability to regulate capitalists and the capitalist system, the ability to regulate capitalism, collapses. And as the ability to regulate capitalism collapses, capitalism's excesses are used then to fuel the psychopathic government. It becomes an evil spiral. Right? Ideally, you have a virtuous cycle where, you know, as capital is growing, regulation is growing, and they grow together so that you have a strong and healthy economy, but it is balanced by strong and healthy laws that keep companies from, you know, catching the Lake Erie on fire or the Cuyahoga River on fire in order to make more profit, because pollution is always cheaper than remediation. And then you have the EPA coming into existence in 72, saying, no, you can't do that anymore. You can still make a profit selling those chemicals, but you can't make that much of a profit that you're pouring them into the Lake Erie or the Cuyahoga River, which ends up in Lake Erie, which killed Lake Erie and caught the river on fire. Can't do that anymore. That's a virtuous cycle of regulation and capitalism. The destructive one, the evil one, is when government starts aggressively deregulating companies, as happened. The first consequential piece of legislation Donald Trump signed as president was to allow coal companies to dump their waste material into rivers. It was against the law. It poisons people downstream. Rivers are a source of water, you know, to probably over 100 million people in the United States. And it used to be illegal to pour coal waste into rivers. It contains, you know, cyanide and all kinds of things. So in this evil cycle, what you see is companies collaborating with basically evil regimes. Kodak ran 2 concentration camps, or didn't run them, but they used slave laborers from 2 concentration camps during World War II in Germany. When Nazism began, Wilhelm Kepler, one of Hitler's top economic advisors, advised Kodak and several other U.S. companies they'd all benefit by firing all their Jewish employees in the U.S. Hugo Boss, in the 1930s, Hugo Boss made Nazi uniforms. Hugo Boss himself had joined the Nazi Party. Volkswagen, of course, you know, was invented by Hitler. It was, you know, from the Nazi Party. Bayer, during the Holocaust, a German company called IG Farben manufactures Zyklon B. IG Farben is the company that turned the single largest profit from work with the Nazis. After the war, it was broken up, and Bayer was one of its divisions and went on to become its own company. Siemens, Coca-Cola, IBM, Chase Bank, Standard Oil, Ford,